Reid, how do you see this game playing out? Like, what's your game script look like?
Yeah, I think it's going to be similar to what we saw with Tennessee and Cincinnati. This offensive line and this is probably going to be talked about, and it has been talked about quite a bit, for the Bengals is suspect against defensive line. Now, you don't blitz. I don't think we're going to get a lot of blitzes from either team, right? Because Stafford and Burrow are number 1 and 2 respectively in efficiency against the blitz. And so we're going to see pressure with 3 or 4 guys with the Rams against this offensive line. That's why I think this is going to be a little bit slower. I think it's going to be an under game, so under the 48.5. And, when you take a look at what Cincinnati is doing, to what Steve has been saying for the last month, is they've been bucking all of these trends. And it doesn't make a lot of sense to us who are trying to handicap looking at the stats or the numbers, is that they've been they've had the less EPA per play or yards per play in every game in the playoffs than their opposing team, but they've created turnovers to get that extra possession to then win those games, right? They've been closer games, or they've come back. So I do think that this game is going to be a little bit like that Tennessee game, like these games that we've seen from Cincinnati, where they might get down a little bit early but come back towards the end. But I still got the under.
Okay, Julian, your game scripts. How do you see this one playing out? Super Bowl 56.
Yeah, I think the sharp money that came in early on the under is correct, and that's generally the move in these Super Bowls. There are going to be some nerves. I know the Rams have been there, but Stafford hasn't been there. Plenty of other guys on that team haven't been there, and the Bengals haven't been there. I know Joe Burrow, Joe Cool gives off this persona. He's played in the national championship game, the SEC, high school titles. It's still the Super Bowl. So for me, game script-wise, I do lean under, but we can see these start to shoot out in the second half. Just look at, I know it's different offenses, but look at Chiefs and Bills, that if the Chiefs make one stop on 4th and 13, that game might end 26-21. Instead, it's like an all-time shootout. So I lean to the first half under. I really like it at 24.5. 23.5 is a little different. You win versus lose on a 14-10 score. That's a big deal. You can pick your spread. You can pick your total on DK Sportsbook. You can go to alternates. You just got to lay a little bit of juice. So first half under is one that I strongly lean to, and I have a bunch of props that I think fit in with that we're probably going to talk about a little later.
Okay, Steven, talk to me here.
Yeah, I've been kind of going back and forth on this total here. Like Julian mentioned, like this was hammered down immediately when this first opened up at 49.5, but there's a lot of factors that also support, taking the over in this spot. Now, we have two of the better scoring teams in the first half. Julian mentioned that, he likes the under on the first half. Obviously, there's jitters and all that's going to be talked about a lot, like that safety with the Broncos and Seahawks was when the first snap went back and they ended up scoring a safety on the first drive of the play. With that being said, the Rams have also been a team that have been successful at hitting the over almost all season long, going 10-9-1. That's also because they scored 30 or more points 7 times during the season while holding opposing opponents to about 21.8 points per game because their defense has been so good. How is that going to play out against the Bengals, though, who have so many options, a plethora of options that they can go to? So I'm still going to keep flip-flopping on this here. As it stands right now, I think the under is in play at 48.5, but you really can make a case for both sides. I think this is a really well-set number.